Welcome everyone to this week's episode of the Pit Therapy Podcast. I am Kyle, and I'm joined with T Bag, or what did I say when I sent you the? Oh, I said T Bone.
T-Bone this time.
All right. Yeah, I've got Trevor on here. So what's up, man? How you doing?
Good, man. It's been a little bit of a busy week. I'm coming out to see you in 2 days, so kids got out of school today, so it's just been wild.
Yeah.
What about you?
Yeah, same, man. Kids got out, and I mean, I primarily work from home, so summer's gonna be a mess. They got out early today. They got out at like 12 o'clock, and
Yeah.
my daughter was already in my office like 4 times within
Oh,
like,
really?
yeah, like she just already was in there bugging me, and it's gonna be a long summer.
We sat the kids down tonight at the table, and I'm like, we're laying out ground rules for the summer. If you do this, we will have a good summer. And I'm like, you're doing chores every day, but if you get them done and you're done at like 9 o'clock, leave, go find friends, ride your bike,
Yeah.
just get out of the house. But immediately we were like, just don't fight us. 10 minutes later, they were crying and screaming and all sorts of stuff. So yeah, I feel you on that.
Yeah, it's gonna be crazy. So no, dude, I'm pumped for you to come out this weekend. So gonna go see our buds at Die Young. So
Yeah.
that should be. I'm super pumped for it because once I've seen them, then I've seen the what I consider like the holy trinity of Texas hardcore. So
yeah, you hit them
it'll be
all.
good.
You got Bitter End, Will to Live, and now Die Young. You're rounding
And now
it
Die
out.
Young. Yeah.
There's a few more that you've got to start to add to that list, though. Like you haven't seen
I know that
Fugitive yet.
I haven't seen Fugitive yet, which I was going to bring up because they just dropped a new song and it freaking rips. I still need to see Judiciary. Trying to think of some of the other Life Cycles is on my list.
Just like the homies that we've connected with at this point.
Yeah, like Soul Exchange,
Virtue, Fortunes.
Fortunes.
I'm sure.
Yep.
Like, here's the thing, though. They are in Texas, and they're, I don't want to say up and coming, but they're active bands. You know what I mean? So, like, the chances of you seeing them are pretty likely. Yeah. Like, we didn't really know about Die Young a ton back in the day, but since we've been doing this, it's a band where it's like, were we going to get a chance to see them?
Yeah.
So,
yeah,
no, I'm pumped for it.
It's gonna be a ton of fun. So, yeah, I guess we kind of talked about it a little bit, but new music. The only one that I really got is Fugitive, which it's phenomenal. Like I'm so excited for what these guys are doing because it's just so good. And what's cool is like some of the other stuff that they've released is like super technical and like very riffy.
Yeah.
But this song didn't feel super riffy in a good, like it didn't, I'm not saying it was like basic, but I'm just saying it wasn't this like blow your brains out, like crazy riff, type stuff. It was just solid musical work from start to finish. Zero complaints about the song. So I'm super pumped for what they have coming up.
Yeah. I mean, we haven't been able to talk about new music in a minute just because we've done some interviews and a few things like that. So hands down, I'm saying it now. My favorite EP that's going to get dropped this year is Stolen Gun. And I know you're not a fan. Stolen Gun is insane. You got Vincent from the Acacia Strain. You got the drummer from No Cure. And then the guitarist from I don't know. Something like a deathcore band. And then the dudes in Pure Bliss. Right? Like he's the other guitarist in there. Dude. It's heavy. It's aggressive. It's mean. It's mean. Like the second song on it or the third song on it has like a Zabalba breakdown in there where he screams go to hell. And then it's just like a nasty breakdown, super reminiscent of Zabalba. It's fantastic. I'm saying Stolen Gun is going to be the EP of the year. So not album, but EP. I freaking love it.
I don't know, dude. I mean, I get where you're coming from on it. Like it does sound phenomenal. Like it's not a sound that I relate with right now, but I get where you're coming from. I mean, it is just angry, pissed off,
dude.
and it's done really well.
And that's what I love. Like we've talked about it. Like I like things that are just mean, like lines that are just mean, sounds that are just mean. Like
Yeah.
if you can give me something where I'm like, ooh, that's just like it's not gross. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not like over the top imagery, grotesque or whatever.
Winds of plague. I'm gonna cut you open like an effing pig,
exactly.
right?
Exactly. It's not like that, right? It's just like gnarly, you know. I love it. It's great.
Yeah.
So that's definitely up there for me. I sent you Psycho Frame the other day. That's another dude.
Okay, listen.
Talk.
I'm coming around. All right.
You were listening to some Impending Doom today.
I was listening to Pending Doom. I was listening to Acacia Strain today. I've been listening to a bunch of All Shall Perish since they announced that Utah date, which freaking what's that album? Hold on. It's gonna bug me now. The one where the Statue of Liberty is holding the guns.
I know, yeah. I can't think of the name of it off the top of my head right now either.
Awaken the Dreamers. When Life Had More, that song just like that song rips so hard. So I'm coming around. When you sent Psycho Frame, is that what they're called?
Yeah.
It like initially I was like, absolutely not. But then like I actually listened to the whole song. Normally when you send me this crap, I'd just shut it off like real quick. But I actually listened to the whole song and I didn't get up from it being like, what the hell did I just do? So I'm coming around.
Dude, right? It is the late 2000s sound just perfectly done.
Yeah.
Like it has that little bit of modern twist, like the production value is a little bit better. So you're getting some of like what's currently going on, but it's not symphonic. It's just heavy deathcore. And it is great.
I appreciated that his vocals weren't just like gimmicky. Oh, you know, like what stupid, like Lorna Shore crap. Like I'm just so like the only thing that bothered me about it, and I don't know what my issue is with this, but it just felt, it wasn't bad, but it did feel enough of like overproduced that like I was like, nah, I'm all right. You know?
Yeah, I can see what you're saying there. Like it definitely has a modern production to it. Very much so. Very much so. This isn't pulling from the early Whitechapels, the early Suicide Silences, all that kind of stuff. There's definitely that modern feel to it. You get almost like it's just a production effect leading into that breakdown where he's just like tunnel screaming and it's like a slam riff behind it that boom, bing, boom, bing. Like, you know, like, so I know what you're saying there.
Yeah.
But it is mean.
It's good. It is good. And honestly, if this is what deathcore is moving towards, like I'm going to end up finding bands that I'm cool with.
Yeah. Six Shots in Dallas sounds a lot like this. Girl of Glass sounds a lot like this. There's some good upcoming deathcore going back to the MySpace era. Like we've talked about it. Impending Doom, we just mentioned, like you said that even their last album you didn't mind, or their last EP. And their last EP,
sick. Yeah. Sick.
It's good. Yeah. That was this year too. Yeah, dude. I think it's great. I think that it's like everything that I would want in terms of modern deathcore, scrapping all the current symphonic BS. And like you said, like the gremlin screaming and stuff like that.
Exactly. And that's the thing is, and this is why I ended up like kind of catching myself not hating it, is because like this just felt like really angry music. And I'm like, I was fine with that, you know, because the Lorna Shore crap, it's just like, no, it's like a gimmick just to make weird sounds with your mouth that's not acceptable when you're not doing deathcore, you know? Like, like I bet you Will Ramos just like sits in his room with like ADD or something. And it's just like, blah, blah, like all the time. And somebody's like, dude, you put music to that. And that's what they did. All right. But this like Psycho Frame just like, it just felt like angry, pissed off music that they wanted to play. And again, I'm coming around. I'm not there yet, but like, but if you like deathcore, then this is the deathcore you should be getting into. Absolutely.
Yeah. See, and it's like, it's heavy. It's not quite to slam though. And because I'm not a big fan of slam. I'm not a big fan of torture. I'm not a big fan of like peeling flesh and stuff like that. I like this. Like that other stuff, it's cool. That's what the kid, like everyone's into because it's just, again, get in the pit and beat
Squash
each
music.
other.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. It just, I don't know what it is. Is it just a little bit more of that death influence, so a little bit more riffy than just the straight slam? I think is kind of how I feel about it.
Well,
So
there's more musicality to it too. Like
yeah,
slams just
exactly.
like chugs and pig squeals, like
Exactly. Get as low as possible. Exactly. So
yeah.
yeah,
This
I'm a
like
big fan.
yeah, yeah. No, seriously, go check it out. Yeah, it was cool. So I don't know,
And
man. I've been on just like a weird I just like woke up this week with like a weird stuff with music. I didn't listen to a lot. I don't know. I just like was in a weird space this week, so I didn't really listen to like a lot of stuff.
so I've
So
told you, but I don't know if I've mentioned it on the podcast yet, but I started um just in the mornings, like 3 days a week, I go to a golf course. I mow their tees and around like the
uh-huh.
greens and stuff like that. I go like 5 a.m. I'm done at 8 a.m. But like I just get to put music in. And for 2.5, 3 hours, I just get to listen to music.
Yeah.
It's a little rough at 5 a.m. throwing on some
Psycho frame.
psycho, right? But I
Yeah.
will say, you give me about 20 minutes of just some music and like waking myself up, and I'll turn on whatever. So I've listened to a whole gambit of stuff that like I've listened to before, but I don't know if like I've ever taken the time to like really sit down and listen to it. So some of the stuff I've listened to, I listened to all of Minor Threat. I listened
Oh,
to
nice.
old Bad Brains. I listened to AFI's Discog again. Um, but then the album that came out this week was Ways Away. They dropped a new
Mm,
album, much different than what we're talking about, right? It's not Stolen Gun, it's not Psycho Frame. They
yeah.
have Chuck Reagan on a song, you know what I mean? Like it's just some
Mhm.
good like rock music.
Yeah.
I love Ways Away. It's the vocalist for Stick to Your Guns and oh man, who's in this band? It's Stick to Your Guns, Boy Sets Fire, and uh Samium, I think is how
Yeah.
you say it.
Stadium.
Yeah, that's the one. So it's those
Yeah.
four, and dude, it's good. Like I've been a fan of Ways Away for a while now. I really like their 2020 album, their self-titled. It's on often for me. And this last one, I'm Not You, it's just good music. If you need something like if you're going up into the mountains, turn on Ways Away. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? If you're going for a drive
Yeah.
on a scenic view, turn on some Ways Away. That's the vibes.
Yeah.
It's great. So
Yeah. That's cool.
I'm trying to think if there was anything else. I
I
don't
mean,
think I really.
not new music. I'm trying to think of tours. I don't even know what other
You
tours are going on.
mentioned. You already mentioned. Who did you just say? All Shall Perish. They're
Oh yeah.
coming. That tour dropped, which looks sick. Uh, I sent you a tour that's going to Dallas. Who was that? Do you
You did?
remember?
No.
It's like the second or third leg, and As Cities Burns is on
Oh, it
it.
was Emery.
Oh, Emery. So
Yeah.
they announced the second or third leg of that tour. I would go for As Cities Burns on that one.
Yeah.
I think that would be sick. Like I don't mind Emery. Like they're fine. I'm not a huge fan of Emery, but I'd go see As Cities Burn for sure.
Yeah.
Um, and then yeah, I don't know.
I don't. Yeah. I might go see the One Step Closer Magnitude show in June,
Yeah,
and then, dude, I don't really know what else is coming. So
I
the
know that
Haywire
there's
show.
yeah, Haywire. I know there's shows out there. We've talked about a lot of the shows out there. So I'm sure I have stuff coming up, but I haven't kept too
Yeah,
much
there's
track.
like the story so far with Neck Deep and Painted Truth.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah.
Which,
I don't know. I
okay,
don't know.
Neck Deep, they dropped a song. It was pretty good. Like
Okay.
just kind of some generic pop punk again. It's not groundbreaking or anything like that. It's what you would expect.
Yeah.
But the one thing I did want to bring up on here, last Friday, I sent you the screenshot of A Day to Remember replaces Three Doors Down at Summer of '99 and Beyond Festival. Is that more of an explanation as to what A Day to Remember has become? Like that headline alone, they replace Three Doors Down. What?
To be honest with you, I'd probably rather see Three Doors Down.
Straight up, I'm with you on that.
Yeah,
because you
give me some semi-charmed life. Like, let's go. You know.
Okay, come on, bro. That's not Three Doors Down.
It is, isn't it?
You're joking right now, right?
Who is it?
It's Third Eye Blind, homie.
Oh, it's Third Eye Blind. Okay, it's another 3 number. Like, my bad. Oh, okay. Kryptonite. That's what I'm. Yeah, that's the song. All right.
Yeah. If I go crazy, then will you still call me Superman?
All right.
Yeah.
Number 3.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, it's just insane to me,
Yeah.
the downfall of bands like that. And like, it's just unfortunate. You know what I mean? Because like, I loved A Day to Remember. They were fun. They have sold out hard.
Yeah.
And one of the reasons I bring this up is I feel like we're talking Funeral for a Friend today. I feel like the third Funeral for a Friend album tried to sell out hard, and I don't think it was received well. And I think that they were just like, oh yeah, no, we can't do this. And they caught themselves. Like, this was a band that had the chance to blow up and to totally sell out. And they were like, nah, like, we're not doing that.
We'll get into it because with the way that Tales Don't Tell Themselves was, they're not blowing up at all. Even if, no.
I mean, it was a failed attempt to blow up, right?
Yeah.
Like A Day to Remember succeeded. How many bands did we see that put out these arena rock albums or more just regular rock albums that just fell apart and just went away?
Right.
Like Halifax was one of those bands that I thought was going to be huge.
Like we talk a lot of crap on like Parkway Drive, but at least they're playing like, at least they're in kind of the same ballpark of like,
yeah,
like what they were, you know what I mean? Cause like they were never really, at least when they came to the US, they were never really like the DIY, you know, guys with face tattoos hitting each other with chairs type shows. You know what I mean? Like they're not going to play with like Blood for Blood or, you know what I mean? Like old school, like straight edge hardcore bands. Like they're not, I don't know. That didn't seem like Parkway Drive. So like, their Fall from Grace like wasn't, it's not even Fall from Grace. They just like grew old, I guess. And that's what they played. I don't know. A Day to Remember just feels worse to me.
Oh, I agree with you. A Day to Remember definitely feels worse, but I mean, you're talking going from a form of like rock music and a form of metal music. Like it's just two different genres, right? Like if Parkway had tried to go like glam metal, is like what A Day to Remember did. You know what I mean? Like it is pretty far away, and they throw a breakdown in there for good measure.
Right.
Like it's just dumb. You know what I mean? So
the only reason why they're not getting made fun of as much right now is because of As I Lay Dying's tour and all the crap going on with Tim again.
There's that, and dude, Falling in Reverse, that tour. Holy cow. Falling in Reverse, Slaughter to Prevail, Wage War, Hollywood Undead, Tech 9. Like, oh my gosh. Could there be anything worse?
We'll be front row for that one. You're not going to go freaking crowd kill at Slaughter to Prevail or Tech 9, dude?
Listen, man, a lot of things could be said about killing. No, I will not be attending that one.
Just ask Tim Lambesis about that. So,
which, by the way, he's played like 4 shows in Russia. Like, that is just wild.
Yeah. Yeah,
First of
his
all,
tour starts in Russia.
yeah, they're in the middle of a war. Russia's on like a no-fly list, and Tim is just like, "Yeah, I'm gonna go play 4 shows there
By myself.
by myself as as I lay dying in an Austrian death machine."
It's crazy.
So
What a world, man. What a world. It makes the turnstile stuff not seem that bad anymore, you know.
no, I mean, yeah, like we can crap on Turnstile, but it's not that. So
You know what's crazy, dude? I freaking saw All American Rejects are playing like DIY
backyard
shows.
shows.
Yeah.
It's dope.
Look,
actually,
I would do it. I would go. I would go.
I wasn't. Yeah, I
If
mean,
it's
like
someone's backyard, like listening to All American Rejects, I would do it.
I'd listen to some
Absolutely.
swing. I'm down. Yeah. Dude, I'll name music All American Reject songs. Like, what's the other one? Like Paper Planes or something like that. Like,
I don't know, dude.
Give Them Hell. Like, I got you. I got
Let's
some
ask
All
my wife.
American Rejects. But yeah, dude, like, good on them. That's awesome. It's
Yeah.
almost like when we watched that Taking Back Sunday, throw that backyard show in Long Island. So sick.
mean, they were only doing that to film a music video.
I don't care. They still did it. Like, yeah, sure, capitalize on it, film a music video, whatever. But they played a lot of old songs. There was stage diving, crowd surfing. It looked sick.
It looked kind of fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
They should have done 10 more of them, but yeah, like, whatever. So,
all right, dude. Before we get into Funeral for a Friend, I got something I have to admit to you. And I will share it on the podcast so it's public record and people understand, because I will no longer lie about this. I bought a pair of Crocs and I do not regret it. They are so comfortable.
so you're saying you're going sports mode for Die Young?
Yeah, well, dude, I might wear Crocs out there, dude. We'll see. But have you ever worn them?
I mean, I've worn a form of them. I've never actually worn Crocs.
Dude, like I regret. I publicly apologize for all the Croc slander because they're comfy. They're
Listen,
cheap.
man.
It's like $30.
Have you have you seen the videos of I Trust My Latina Wife?
Uh-huh.
They put the things on their head and they throw the shoe at it. You wearing Crocs is the old man taking his Croc off and hitting a kid in the pit. That's all I can see happening.
Dude, I should totally do that. Maybe I will. Maybe I will wear Crocs this Saturday and I'll just take it off and start beating people with them.
Yeah. Like, we're old enough. Like, who cares? Like, I don't care what I wear anymore. If it's comfortable, it's comfortable. Like, whatever.
But I just I was very proactive on the Croc slander, and I apologize for it. You know, they're goofy as hell, but they're comfy. So,
you know what? The next merch item, the little, like, what are they that you put in the Crocs? Like you know,
the tag things that you like,
Disney characters and stuff. Like, let's get some band logos. I'd love to see little Die Young, like the skull on the clock. Plug that into your Croc. Rock some Die Young style.
It's not going to be a Die Young. What? So we're getting off topic here, but like, what are the bands that would do that for Crocs? Like, Big Ass Truck, obviously.
Let's don't say what bands would do it. What bands have logos for it? Like, what would you like rock on there? Psycho Frame actually has a dope freaking logo. Let's throw a Psycho Frame one on there.
Yeah, but like, you gotta think your like user base. They're wearing Crocs, like, you know.
Listen, you get enough like of these deathcore, hardcore, metalcore bands to actually start making it. They will wear Crocs. We know how trends go in the scene. You get one viral video, and every TikTok kid is going to be doing spin kicks and Crocs in the pit. You know it. Yeah, so
I kind of regret this conversation now. All right. Anyways, buy Crocs. Sponsored by Crocs.
Sponsored by Croc.
All right.
Thing before Funeral for a Friend, the plane crash.
Oh yeah.
Couple of people from the scene unfortunately passed away. Dave Shapiro, who was sound what are they? Sound Talent Group or something like that, I think is
Yes.
what they're called. They are responsible for like the promotion for 400 different artists.
Yeah.
He has been involved for a long time. He started a band in 95 called it wasn't Count the Stars at the time, but they were on Victory Records for one album. No one remembers Count the Stars. I own the freaking album. Like, I love that album. Like, it's an old early 2000s pop punk album, like the Starting Line style.
Yeah.
So great.
He was
And the drummer,
the drummer for Devil Wears Prada. Well, the
the original
the original drummer from like Plagues and stuff. Yeah, man, terrible. I just don't go on these small planes or helicopters anymore. Just don't do it. You know, so
Yeah.
many people, man, so many people. So like, you know, condolences to their families and stuff. And like, that's
Yeah.
anytime anyone from the scene, stuff like that happens, man, it sucks. It sucks real
Absolutely wild. Like, we listened to Dear Love and Plagues so freaking much. It was extremely influential in
Yeah.
terms of like the music we listened to growing up, and his drum styles. Like,
bad. Plagues
I
is
can't
incredible.
dude, I can't tell you how many like kids that like we were trying to recruit as drummers that we handed like Plagues or Dear Love, and we were like, play
Do this.
this.
Yeah.
Like, this is what we want you to do on the drums. And so like it was huge for us. So, you know, it's terrible.
It was
Terrible what happened. So had to get that out of the way.
Yeah.
And I
all
mean, like, I don't want to be morbid, but you know, funerals for friends. So unfortunately,
Yeah.
segue. Yeah, bad segue.
I actually was thinking that. That's an unfortunate segue.
Yeah.
But so good band. Funeral for a Friend, Welsh, post-hardcore emo band,
Holy cow! You
kind
could
of in parentheses,
stack-
a little bit of metalcore-ish. Great band. And like when I was doing some research on them and stuff, all these people online were like, is Funeral for a Friend big in the US? Like, did the US ever get into Funeral for a Friend? And a lot of people were like, no, outside of the album Hours, like it didn't seem like they were really that big, which is shocking to me because this band was massive for me. Massive. Like, I would have never guessed that everybody wasn't listening to freaking Funeral for a Friend.
Okay, but you say that. But when we started this, you said the first two albums were massive for you.
Yeah.
You didn't really listen to them beyond those first. We had like a 3-year period with Funeral for a Friend, in all honesty.
Okay, but 2003, 2005, their two best albums, that is prime time for the sound that they were, and they did it better than most people did at this time frame. Like, listen, how were they not the largest like post-hardcore emo band in the US, you know?
I'm not disputing you, right? But number one, they're European. Like that's going to limit them in and of itself. And number two, I just feel like I said, 2003 to 2005, it was dominated by there's so many different bands coming out at that time. I'm with you. These albums are top notch. They are some of the best. The fact that they aren't talked about more is baffling to me. But like, I went online and I looked up, literally Googled my Google was top 2000s post-hardcore albums, just to look for lists. They are not mentioned on nearly anything.
Yeah.
There is one top 50 post-hardcore songs I'm going to listen to in a retirement home. And they did come on that. They're like number 24, Streetcar off of Hours.
Okay.
Like 2005. Here's the thing, man. I think Casually Dressed was better than Hours.
We'll disagree on that one.
Dude, Casually Dressed is
not by much. Not by much, but we might.
Sure. Yeah. But like, the fact what you're saying is true. They do not get the flowers that they deserve. And I honestly just think it's because they were in Europe.
Europe, probably. I don't know if we have European users or listeners. If anyone is familiar with the scene there or is out there, please let us know. Like, is Funeral for a Friend God tier for you guys?
Yeah.
I would love to know that. I would also love to know that people that are our age and our generation, what are your thoughts on Funeral for a Friend? You know, are you aware of them? Did you actually listen to them? Are they important to you? Because this band was huge for me. Literally, Casually Dressed and Deep in Conversation and Hours are some of the most nostalgic albums that I think we've talked about. I know I said that about a lot, but like, I remember being 13, going to a soccer game, my mom driving me, and I'm listening to Juno, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I remember being 15 or 16 in my car and listening to All the Rage and Streetcar and History, you know? Rookie of the Year. Like, I remember, like, I have vivid memories of like playing sports as a youth, you know, and listening to these albums, and they're like pinnacle for me. They're hugely important albums for me. So, yeah, what
like we've talked about in terms of like most post-hardcore bands had like that Southern riff song on them, starting in like 2005-ish, 2006-ish is when that like Southern riff song all happened. But prior to that, they all had like their acoustic song on there. Dude. And I was drawn to it. I'm always drawn to like the outlier songs, right? So if bands have like the acoustic song, I always love that. If they have like the overly heavy song, I usually love that. The Southern riff song, I usually love that. Like, Your Revolution is a Joke. I can sing it like verbatim from 2003. Like, and I haven't listened to this album in a long time. I love Casually Dressed. That image of that album cover,
yeah.
I don't know what it was. It was like captivating to me. The white sheet over their heads with them sitting back to back and like the scene behind them.
Yeah.
It's just like it's beautiful. Like it's a very cool album. And then the music on here, great music. So
yeah. The biggest thing I learned, I think, though, well, the second biggest outside of them not being huge in the US, one of the other big things that I came to the realization of is they are ridiculously consistent throughout the years. We're talking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 albums, I think. And there's one that I don't like. Like, how many bands with this level of discography have we gone through where we haven't disliked multiple albums? It's usually the opposite, right? It's usually like 1 or 2 albums were incredible, and then the rest we were just like, nah.
Well, and on top of that, how many bands have we talked about where we're like, we get to the last 2 or 3 albums and we're just like, yeah, you don't have to get to that point. No,
absolutely not.
Dude, I've said chapter and verse. It is not well received. I loved it. I thought it was so good. And up to that Conduit's like the heaviest that they get. Conduit's awesome.
Welcome Home Armageddon had some like,
oh man,
super heavy songs. Like, I don't know. It's just missed opportunity. I don't get it. I don't get it. You know,
I think that they were a lot bigger in the UK. I think that they were pretty massive in the UK. And so it just is too bad. It really is too bad that they couldn't capitalize. Like, here's the thing. Think about all the tours right now that just like, Americans are going to the UK like it's nothing. They're going to Japan. They're doing Australia, like small, tiny bands. If these guys had been today, they would just live in the US basically.
Probably.
Like, how often do you see Cruelty playing in the US these days from Japan? All the freaking time. Or Speed. Like, it just happens. So, yeah, dude, I think it would have been, if it was like, if post-hardcore was as big as it was in the early 2000s and we had it today with like the travel and everything like that, these guys would
They
they
probably
could
would be
easily be a
massive.
top like 3 band in post
Yeah.
hardcore. Easy.
So I don't really remember how I found them. I assume it's through my brother because I know my older brother's a huge Casually Dressed fan, and
Yeah.
so I do remember. I remember going on vacation one time with my family, and I had like this. It was a Walkman, but it wasn't a CD Walkman. It was like their next evolution of
Okay.
the Walkman, and it was these little like square. They almost looked like
Oh yeah.
floppy disks, right? But it was like these little. They're like half the size of a floppy disk,
Yeah.
and you could put like a couple albums on it. And so I had Casually Dressed and Hours on this floppy disk, and I remember going on vacation with my family, and like it was them and Boy Sets Fire, dude. That was like it.
Yeah.
That was all I listened to. The whole vacation was just I was just like back and forth between Boy Sets Fire and Funeral for a Friend, and so like yeah, I freaking love this band. And I'm so glad we're talking about them, and I hope that people have these great memories of them. And if not, like you got to go listen to them. You got to go listen to them because they're incredible.
If you are into post hardcore at all, you need to go listen to these albums. Even if you are familiar with them, go listen to the whole discog because, like you just said, the amount of consistency that they had is incredible. Like,
Yeah.
I literally working at golf course job just turned it on shuffle and just played everything.
Mhm.
And when you do it that way, you can literally listen to like you can listen to every single Funeral for a Friend song. We'll talk about Tells Don't Tell Themselves as a whole album. I don't really enjoy it, right?
Yeah.
When those songs are mixed in with the rest of their songs, it's fine.
Yeah.
Like the songs aren't bad. They're not good. They're not good,
Yeah.
but like you can listen to like a 3-minute song and then you're going to get 4 or 5 that are like
Yeah.
just God
Well,
tier. You know what I mean? So
see, I did the same thing you did, and when I could instantly because I didn't know this album very well, and we're going to talk about that. I honestly had not listened to anything past Hours
yeah,
until we did this. Like seriously, I knew they had albums because I'd gone like a little bit ago and like was listening to them, but I just ignored everything because I assumed they were bad. But I could tell instantly when a song from Tells
yeah,
Don't Tell Themselves came on, and I just skipped it.
I gotcha.
But all
Well,
right,
maybe
so
you
how do
should
you
give
do
it a
this?
better chance.
I mean, I did listen to it. It's just when I did shuffle, I skipped it.
So let me ask you this, because obviously we could go through the albums and we could just talk about everything. But if you're going to turn on Casually Dressed, give me like the 3 songs that, like, if you only have 10 minutes to show someone this album, what 3 songs are you showing them? What's number 1, 2, and 3? Or let me ask you this: what's 1 and 2? And then I'm going to ask you this because I have one specific song that I would love to hear covered. And
okay.
do you know if there's a song that you off here you would like to hear covered? So
No, I mean, well, so like, I guess to get into it, Casually Dressed and Deep in Conversation, 2003. I guess these were released on Warner UK. That's kind of crazy. Rookie of the Year is a top 3 song for me with
okay.
Funeral for a Friend. It's just so good. Like there's something about his vocals too, where like you could play a Funeral for a Friend song and you would instantly be able to know who this guy is. And he has such a, maybe it's because he's from Wales and has an accent to us, that his like pronunciation and cadence, and it feels very unique to me.
Yeah.
You know, like the way that he like will really stress like the end of sentences and like the last words and stuff. And like it's usually like it starts low and kind of like he goes up with his vocals as he's singing and like really stresses the end of it. And I don't know, it's really unique. And I like the screaming in this album too. It feels very like emo-y, but it's not, to me, this didn't feel cheesy or gimmicky. Like it felt like the screams fit. They weren't overdone. It felt appropriate with the music. So I just like, man, this album's so good. So Rookie of the Year, obviously like number 1 song for me. Juno, Like, I think there's a reason why these two songs are like some of their most played because they're some of the best. The last one, it might be Red is the New Black or Novella. I'm not sure. It's kind of a tie between those two because I really like the guitar in Red is the New Black. It's like a little more intense, a little more, I guess, the hardcore-y part of post-hardcore, you know? But Novella is just such a good song too. I love the chorus.
Doesn't Novella kind of remind you of Day 2?
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah, like Novella feels very Day 2-ish. Like if you want to go local reference here, I love Novella for that.
They're so interesting because even in this album, like Juno's like a straight emo song.
Yeah.
Like the guitar tones are like a little darker. You know, like his vocals are a little darker. There's more screams, but like Novella has like a more upbeat, almost like pop punky sound to some of it. Like I feel like these guys would be huge nowadays because bands like Arm's Length or a lot of these like emo-y sad boy pop punk bands that are really big right now, like Arm's Length, Hot Mulligan. What are some of those like other bands like that? You know what I'm talking about?
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Like Basement or whatever. Like these guys were doing this sound 20 years ago, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
I mean, longer.
Yeah.
For sure. So I agree with you, right? The top 3 that I'm going to do, obviously. So Rookie of the Year, what an incredible intro. Just fantastic. Yeah. Juno, insane. The one song that like I'm asking hardcore bands, someone give me a hardcore cover of Bullet Theory.
Bullet Theory?
Like, dude, that song, if you made that just like pick up the tempo a little bit, added just a little bit heavier stuff, it almost has like an Evergreen Terrace feel. Like you listen to that opening guitar riff, if that was a little bit faster and stuff, it would feel a little bit like Evergreen Terrace-ish. And there's that part right in the middle that you could throw a nasty breakdown in there.
It could be like almost Four in Hands type sound, you know?
Dude, it's so good. It's so solid. You could do such a good cover of this song, in my opinion. Yeah. Someone could do this one well.
I feel like there's a little bit of a pattern with some of these bands that I grew up on because like I kept thinking about like a Static Lullaby too. These bands just know how to do a chorus. Like their choruses are just so damn catchy. Like they're just so catchy. Like even Bullet Theory, like it's heavier, but like when he opens up and starts singing, it's so great. Like it's so catchy. It's so great. All these songs. So
yeah. I'm a huge fan. This, like I said, this is probably my favorite album. Like I'll say it now. It is so good. There's so many parts on it that are just memorable for me. Again, this was our intro to them. This was formative years for us, 2003. This is like the beginning of our post-hardcore entry too. So obviously it's going to be super high up there for us, but visually, lyrically, sound-wise, just everything about it, incredible. Yeah. So
you know what? There's been a few bands that we've talked about with like lyrically where I've not embarrassed, but like felt, I don't even know what the word is, like a little, like you just feel like the lyrics didn't age well, right?
Yeah.
Like it's too cheesy. I mean, obviously when we were 13, 14, 15, like we were cool with it because that's what we were, but I didn't really feel that way about Funeral for a Friend. I didn't listen to these lyrics and be like, oh, that's cringy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Cringe.
Exactly.
That's what I was looking for, so.
No, I'm with you for sure.
Yeah. So, all right. Next up is Hours, and this is in 2005. This is my personal favorite album.
Okay,
I don't know why. I don't know. I just think that I listen to it more. I honestly feel like it's a byproduct of having an older brother that got you into music. Like, Casually Dressed is his album, right?
It's the
Ours
album
was
that you found. You probably showed this one to Brady, and you were like, "Suck it! I brought it to you first."
yeah. Like sonically, it does change a little bit though.
Yeah,
It's less like it's post-hardcore with a capital P, not a capital H, right?
yep.
Like whereas the last album, you could really hear the hardcore influences. This one gets a little more
Novella,
into like
Bullet
the
Theory, all of that stuff. Much heavier. Much
yeah,
heavier.
yeah. But this album felt more like they introduced a little more like alt rock, pop punk type. I say pop punk, that sounds weird, but like you can hear it in some of the songs have like an up like a more upbeat tone to it.
I wouldn't say pop punk. I'd say pop rock.
Okay.
Because
That's fair.
I don't think it's pop punk because you don't get those fast pop punk riffs.
Right.
It's just more radio style, pop rock style kind of thing.
It's definitely more melodic, which again, I'm a sucker for melodic stuff. Like even just listening to the guitar in All the Rage, like it's very much more melodic, but All the Rage is my favorite Funeral for a Friend song.
Yeah.
Like I could listen to this song every day, all day, and never get sick of it. It's so freaking good. Now, do they bleep the F word in the song or do they like mute it?
I mean, are you listening to the edited version? Maybe
I'm just
just
listening.
Apple
just listening
Music does, but no.
because it says that blank lied to us.
I don't think so.
Oh,
I mean,
well,
they say the F word all over their stuff. I don't think that they're editing that one.
I like I don't know. I have to show it to you on Apple Music, but it doesn't say the effort because doesn't he say like that effort lied to us?
I don't remember. I know what you're saying, but I don't remember. So,
Huh.
that is interesting. I would be curious, but like when you listen to the rest of it, like do they have the F word in the rest of their songs? Because they say the F word a lot,
I don't think
especially in
so.
later albums.
Let me look at the later albums. None of them have like explicit on it, like an explicit tag.
I wonder if Apple has it edited.
Huh.
You know what? Like, it wouldn't surprise me. It wouldn't surprise me if like a 2005 era album had an edited version, especially coming from the UK. I think that they had some stuff trying to get their music to the US where it would be like, we want to be in US stores. Let's make an edited version to make it much more marketable. We'll
Yeah.
get it in Targets. We'll get it in Walmarts and stuff like that if we edit it, you know? So I wonder
Maybe.
if there was an effort to do that.
I just thought that was funny because I know he says it because we've seen them live. And I know he says it, but
Yeah, yeah.
it doesn't in the song. So, the only songs on this album that I don't like are Sunny and Drive. There's 3 slow songs on this album, and I only
I
like
don't
one.
mind Drive. I don't mind Drive. The lyrics are it's kind of weird. It's kind of quirky. This is the sad boy emo song version on this one for sure.
This song. This song drives me insane. Pardon the pun. I cannot do this song. I like it. It physically hurts me to listen to. I don't know why.
Yeah,
I don't know why.
I can understand what you're saying. It's just so repetitive. It's just so repetitive. There's not a ton that's interesting about it, but I don't know. Like, again, mix it into stuff and it's fine. And then Sunny, it just gets a little bit more experimental. Like this leans into like when you talk about those other bands that like were really experimenting with the post-hardcore sound at the time, you know, at the or who am I thinking of? The Mars Volta, At the Drive-Ins, all of those kind of bands who like edged that line of like, are they alt rock or are they post-hardcore? That's what Sunny does. Yeah. You know what I mean? So
yeah, I will say I vividly remember in this album being obsessed with history.
Yeah.
When I went through and listened to this, I probably repeated history like 10 times before I moved on to the next song.
Yeah.
This song is so freaking good. like the lyrics to it and stuff, like it's just so good. I don't know how else to explain it, but I literally every time I put this song on, I have to listen to it more than once. It's impossible to only listen to it one time.
Okay, so this is the one thing I was thinking about this song. So, archers in your arches, raise your fingers to the sky. Did the author of the Hunger Games just listen to a ton of Funeral for a Friend and be like, she is going to be an archer and the salute she's going to raise her fingers and that's going to be what it is, and we're going to talk about history and like, dude, the Hunger Games is based off of the Funeral for a Friend song History. I'm calling it right now.
You might have something here. The first Hunger Games 2008, so like, yeah, dude,
Suzanne Collins. Suzanne, hit me up. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me you were listening to a crap ton of Funeral for a Friend in 2005. You were a post-hardcore emo kid, and you were like, you know, that is a crazy imagery. Give me that salute. Give me the fingers to the sky. Like, yeah.
You got it.
I'm calling it, man.
Seriously, we should email her. She could ignore us, but whatever. We're putting it out there right now. Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. This is a great song, though. So what, kind of going back to what you were saying on like 3 songs or whatever on this album. I don't know. I won't be able to do this for every album, by the way.
No, I won't be able to either. But these first 2, like, we listen to a lot.
I put these 2 albums on going through this listen through, and I still know all the words to all the songs on these 2 albums.
Yeah.
Like it's incredible, but obviously All the Rage, Streetcar, and History.
I mean, that's literally my list. I will say Streetcar is number 1 for me, though. I prefer Streetcar over All the Rage. Dude, Streetcar, it is the number 1 Funeral for a Friend song for me. Like, I remember listening to this, like, number 1, the dial tone, extremely vivid, right? You hear them talking on the payphone and all that kind of stuff. But the triplets in the drum pattern, in the guitar riffs, like, it was just gallopy, and it was just like, it was super memorable at that time. And like you said, there's something about his vocals, probably being Welsh and stuff like that, that it's just like, it sounds so good over the guitar and over the drums. It's so nasty. It's awesome.
Yeah.
I love this song.
I feel that way about like Hospitality.
Yeah.
Because it's like this like kind of nice, like groovy riff and song, but then it gets to these like really cool chugs, and you're like, dang, this like the break in tempo and the flow of the song is just so unique and so cool.
Yeah.
Dude, this album's so good. Seriously, people, please, like, message us, please, and let us know, like, if you know these songs, because we could just be idiots and like everyone that we talk to knows it, but I just don't. I don't think people do. But this is some of the best post-hardcore to come out of the heyday of post-hardcore.
I'll be honest, I think a lot of the people who do listen to like us and stuff probably do know who this is, unless you're younger. If you're younger, if you are probably 25 or younger, I don't think you know this.
Yeah.
You know, because listen, Funeral for a Friend was not a thing after 2008.
Right.
Like, they stopped getting talked about. Like, they
can argue that they weren't a thing after 2005 or whenever they quit touring on Hours.
Yeah, I mean, like, so probably 2007, because Tells comes out in 2007. Tells actually had a pretty good reception, a pretty good response. That's why I'm saying 2008, because Hours, I think, had done so much for them. People were excited for Tells, and you and I don't like it, but I do think that there was enough people who were just like, this is, Tells was their version of Hours for You with Brady.
I mean, that's wild, but I get what you're saying.
But yeah, I mean, that's what it is. Because here's the thing. They didn't start with Casually. They started with Hours. And so their second album is now Tells. They aren't going back to the first one. So
Yeah.
like, yeah, like it was received well. You and I didn't really like it, but yeah, I think like 2008, that's when, in my opinion, like they were no longer a thing.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, the music scene's changing so much around that time anyways.
Oh, dude. I mean, Metalcore
like,
took
I can
over,
see where I'm
Crabcore
going.
took over, Rise Records took over. Like, yeah.
So let's talk about Tales Don't Tell Themselves. Into Oblivion is probably one of the most annoying songs I've listened to in a long time. I'm just gonna come right out and say it. And I'm sorry for like being rude if people like that. I can't do it. I really can't do it. I don't think there's a single song on this album that like I would bop to.
Really?
Yeah.
All right. Well, then I've got a wild take for you. Okay.
All right.
This album's not that bad.
Okay.
This album's not that bad. Listen, I get it. They went balls to the wall. Let's become
who's the Kings of Leon, dude? Like it's that kind of
Kings
music.
Of Leon. Who's the
Maroon 5? Like I don't know what I'm listening to.
Gosh, who am I thinking? Who's singing Sunday Bloody Sunday? The other British band. Gosh, they're huge. You're gonna laugh at me when you look up who it is. It has Bono as the lead singer. U2. Yes.
You forgot who U2 is?
Dude, I don't know how I forgot that. Literally, though, they went as hard as they could to become like an up-and-coming U2, in my opinion. They covered Bloody Sunday.
That's such a good point. This sound like Into Oblivion sounds just like freaking U2.
On a Wire, freaking a U2 song. Like this album was it was a legitimate attempt at an arena rock album. It was a legitimate attempt at that. So like,
oh yeah, dude, I'm like listening to some of this in the background while you're talking, and it just, what happened?
I think, I don't know. I gave you my opinion when we were texting back and forth. I think that they received a very good positive feedback from ours. I think that I'm curious, look up their tour history. Did you have a chance to look up their tour history?
You know, I did a little bit because I feel like some of these post-hardcore bands cut their teeth like touring originally with hardcore bands, but it didn't feel like that with them. It felt like, at least when they came to the US, it was other bands that they would have fallen right in line with. So,
but who were they playing with though in 2006, 2005, 2006? Did they happen to catch like a big tour or something like that with maybe a more rock styled band?
Yeah,
that's what I'm curious about. But yeah, I mean, take a look at that while we're chatting.
What years were you saying?
This would have been like probably 2006 because that's when they're going to start writing this album, or because it comes out in 2007. So somewhere between 2006 and 2007 ish. Like, who were they touring with at that time?
There's a band called Fight Star and another band called Think Fire. These were all in like the UK and Australia and stuff. The United States, they were on. Well, here's one. They played with like Scary Kids, Paramore, I Am the Avalanche. Like, that's a dope tour, dude. Did we go to that? We might have gone to that if it came to Utah.
If it came to Utah, we probably did.
Yeah, it did come to Utah.
Marshall, yeah, would have.
With Scary Kids, I guarantee you we were there. They did the Taste of Chaos with like Thrice, Story of the Year, Azalea Crying, Silverstein.
Crying.
Which this all fits like right in line with who I would assume they were touring with, you know. What?
Yeah. Yeah.
So
anyways,
that's 2006. Let's do 2007 because this would have been 2007 would have been after this was released. These must be UK bands. Kids in Glass. Kids in Glass Houses. Never heard of them. What
I've
else we
heard of
got?
them, but I don't know who they are.
Reading Fest.
Yeah, I
These are
mean,
all like UK festivals. Kings of Leon. There you go, dude. I freaking called it. Fallout
yeah,
Boy.
like
They played Warp Tour, which I'm sure we would have seen them at this Warp Tour. They did a
okay,
tour. Okay, they did a tour in the U.S. with Alexis on Fire, Emmanuel, and Jamie's Elsewhere. I'm pretty sure we went to that one because I know I've seen Alexis on
probably.
Fire a couple times. So, but that's 2000.
So,
Yeah,
anyways,
it's
yeah,
2007.
I mean, it just I don't know what this was. Like it was it was a failed attempt. Whatever they were trying, it was a failed attempt. And I think they
Yeah.
quickly realized that because they went back pretty quick, or at least they tried to go back on the next album. But here's okay. So this is
So
where I was going with this. I don't mind these kind of albums. I don't. Like, it's not what I enjoy. I'm not going to like listen to it on the regular, but I'm not going to hate on it either. It's not bad, in my opinion. The first thing that came to mind is when I was in college, I lived with our buddy Charlie, and I remember Common Courtesy coming out, A Day to Remember. And the song that everyone loves off there is All Signs Point to Lauderdale. That really cheesy, very poppy song. And when it came out, like we were listening to the album, and Charlie was like, dude, the song is just like, it's just like so just boppy. It's just like, bleh. And like he was like air drumming and stuff like that. I'm like, this album is what Charlie did in my memory. Like this is this whole album.
Yeah.
So like that was the first thing that came to mind. But people like it, man. Like I was looking things up.
Top 40. It's top 40 in the UK charts. You know,
You have like two camps
they
right
had a
now.
song they had a song get up to number 3 on the UK album charts.
What song was it?
Raise the Sweetest Wave.
Oh, okay. Really? Because that's like not
No,
even. That...
sorry, I read it wrong. The album was their highest charting, reaching number 3. So the album charted that.
Okay, I was gonna say, The Sweetest Wave.
Well, that's so crazy.
Is not a good song. But yeah, I don't know. I was looking it up. You have like two camps for Funeral for a Friend. You have pretty much everyone is like in line with Casually Dressed and Hours as being number 1 and 2. Then you have the camps of people who like their heavy stuff that lean into the hardcore and metalcore, and you have the people who lean into the rock stuff. So you usually get like Hours, Casually Dressed, and then you'll get like what's the Avalanche one? Or Welcome Home Armageddon, not Avalanche. Welcome Home Armageddon. That's usually like number 3, and then you'll get Tells Don't Tell Themselves, or you'll get Conduit. It's usually like it's pretty. Top 3 is usually those 3: Hours, Casually, and Welcome Home Armageddon. Then you start to get the the differing. You get the metalcore who like Conduit. You get the other ones who like Tells Don't Tell Themselves. Most people have Memories of Humanity as the bottom ranked one, which is odd to me as well. So,
yeah, I mean, so we can get into that album. I don't think it's as bad as Tales Don't Tell Themselves, but it's not up to par with everything else that they've done. But it's not bad. You know, you can tell that they're trying to go back to a familiar sound.
Yeah, 100%.
It does feel they get more riffy, like it gets more chuggy, like chuggy. You know, like listening to Rules and Games, like the guitar tone changes a little bit. But the choruses are still solid, like even in Rules and Games. Like I don't know. This feels like they're inching their way back to form. You know what this reminds me of? Their discography reminds me of He Is Legend. You know, it's like it's like a reverse parabola. It's like a reverse parabola.
Yeah,
like it starts high, dips, and like dips a little bit, and then
I see what you're saying there. Yeah.
Yeah.
for sure.
What'd you think
Yeah,
of this
like you
album
said,
though?
it is, in my opinion, it's the perfect album after Tells because it is trying to return, but it's them not quite wanting to let go of what they just tried with Tells. Like
Mm.
Kicking and Screaming might be the worst song they've written. Like Kicking and Screaming is so bad. I really dislike this song. And this is, you want to talk Kings of Leon and stuff like that? This is the Kings
Yeah.
of Leon song. You know what I mean? And it was the best received song on the album. It's just terrible though. Like, but then like you said, there's like Rules and Games that's really good. Um, what was the other one that I listened to that
Beneath the
was?
Burning Tree is good.
Is that what it was?
That song feels like pop rock,
Yeah.
like we were talking about.
Yep. Yep. Exactly. It's
But it's catchy,
faster.
man. Yeah, but it's freaking catchy.
Yeah.
Like I can listen to it, you know? Look,
Yeah.
to be honest, like we don't need to spend a ton of time on this album. Like it wasn't their best, it's not their worst. Like you said,
Yeah.
if you play it on shuffle and one of these songs pop up, like you'll listen to it. It's fine, you know?
Yeah. And then Waterfront Dance Club was the other one I was thinking of. This is like, in my opinion, this is a very like quintessential post-hardcore song. You get a little bit of like that electronica style sound in there, really good riffs in it and everything though. Again, super catchy choruses.
Mm.
You get a little gang vocal in there. Like this is a post-hardcore song. This brings them back to what Hours and Casually Dressed were. Like this is just, it's a good song. So this album has good songs on it. Like good songs.
Right.
But it has terrible songs too. Like Kicking and Screaming.
Yeah. All right. So next album, Welcome Home, Armageddon. This one caught me way off guard. This is 2011. Kind of catches you off guard too with like the time frame. Like I don't know. It just like this sound that they did on it had kind of already been done, but it was a little surprising to hear them do it. But they did it super well. Like Front Row Seats to the End of the World is like a top 5 Funeral for a Friend song. Like it's freaking good.
Yeah. Yeah. No, this one, like, I probably listened to this album probably the most out of any of the albums. Just because, like, again, number one, I wasn't super familiar with it. And so, like, I was just trying to get familiar. And it was the best out of the stuff we didn't listen to. Like, dude, that screaming part in Front Row Seats to the End of the World, like, that bass underlay with, like, the chaotic, like, the panic chord, dissonant chords leading into, like, that, like, it's not quite a breakdown. Dude, it's just, like you said, it's great. They bring the hardcore back.
Yeah, and then you have this, like, chorus that's just super freaking catchy.
Yes.
Like, you can sit there and just, like, bob your head to it and, like, get into it, and then it goes super... Like, this... We were talking crap on A Day to Remember. Like, this is what A Day to Remember was, right? Like, it was this really cool, fast, catchy band that, like, did hardcore and, like, hardcore influence stuff really well. You know, and then they went away from it.
Yeah.
But, like, this is what bands like A Day to Remember got started on and sounded so good. But these guys knocked it out of the park. Absolutely knocked it out of the park.
Yeah, dude. And like, if you want to throw in that Day to Remember kind of like correlation there, Old Hymns, dude, that's like a straight up pop punk riff at the beginning. Like this could have easily been a Day to Remember style song. Like fast, aggressive, clean,
got the like really high, like overlay,
high guitar. You know? Yeah, exactly. Easy could have been a Day to Remember song. And his vocals sound great on it. This is it's a fantastic album. Like we've talked about, it's one of the 3. It's definitely up there. Okay. You can talk about the rest of them order them how you want. If you like the arena, if you like the rock sound, you'll like Memories, you'll like Tells. If you like the heavier stuff, Conduit's the heaviest we're going to get. And then Chapter and Verse, he had kind of blown his voice out, so his vocals aren't the best on it, but the music itself is great. So, but yeah, I mean, in terms of like what we're talking about, this is definitely up there. I really, really like this album. Damned if you do, damned if you don't. Every time that song came on when I was on shuffle, I was like, this has to be from one of their earlier albums. It's good. It's fast. It's aggressive. This has the hardcore flair to it. Great. So yeah, dude, I'm all for this album.
Moving on to the next one, Conduit, 2012. I actually like this album more than the last one.
Oh,
this
really?
album, this album, Conduit, to me feels the most mature for them. Like,
okay,
maybe it's just because, like, I don't know, they just do, like, we joke about the Southern stuff, but like, you could argue that the riff and Spine, their first song, is like not that far off. You know?
Yeah.
I don't know.
No,
I really love the tones of the music. You can tell his vocals have like matured a lot, and you might call it like he's blown out his vocals, but I call it maturity. I just really love how it came out. I think it mixed really
well. But the
well.
vocals on this are better than they are on Chapter and Verse. Like, I agree with you. They sound good on this one. They're a little bit like, it's raspy a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, you could tell it's like battle worn. Yeah. It suits this album very well. Very well. You always say you're a sucker for melodic. This is a very melodic album. Very melodic. You start to get some metal, like legitimate metalcore style riffs in there at times. You get what we would consider the post-hardcore. This feels very reminiscent of Alexis on Fire, of Boy Sets Fire, of A Static Lullaby. This album is like that grouping. You know what I mean? Versus like the one before, Welcome Home Armageddon, it leaned a little bit more on the punk side of things. It was a little bit faster, a little bit lighter. We just said it sounds like A Day to Remember at times. You didn't get the depth that you get in Conduit.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it, is like it's mature and it's got depth. And like, dude, like Spine is a top song for them. Like that, like almost southerny riff breakdown that's like 2/3 through the song. Like, if you're playing with the right crowd, like I'm throwing hands to it. You know what I mean? Like, it's heavy. It's heavy, but it's not try hard heavy. And I mean, again, we say this, it's heavy without being heavy, even though I do think they had the intention to be heavy here. But everything about like his tone and the guitar tones, it just was a more in like more depth, more like darker toned album that I think just fits so well for like the age of this band. You know what I mean?
I completely agree. The Distance, dude, that heavy guitar riff in there, that like, dude, again, you want to talk about like, oh, it could, if you want to tweak it just a little bit, add a little Southern flair to it and stuff like that. Like, dude, and again, they have such just a great chorus to it.
Yeah. It's like I'm two-stepping to The Distance.
Yeah. And then immediately you go into Best Friends in Hospital Beds and it picks up the speed. This is like the most hardcore song that they probably have put out. Like, it's just fast. It's aggressive. I already said Bullet Theory, like cover Bullet Theory, cover Best Friends in Hospital Beds. Dude, that song is like, you could make a nasty, nasty hardcore song with this.
No one's going to know what you're playing, but do it, you know?
Screw everyone. Music should be for you / for me. Like, do it because I want to hear it.
Okay, me and you will cover it.
But
I don't know, dude. I was when I first listened to this album, because again, I didn't even know that they had these albums. Like I didn't even know they did. When I first
Yeah.
listened to Conduit, I just like sat there like just staring at the wall listening to it because I was just like, I cannot believe that I haven't heard this before. And what's crazy is that like
Yeah.
in 2012, this album still rips in 2012 with all the other music that's coming out. This album would have held up if people had known about it. You know?
Yeah.
This is such a good freaking album. And like it's aged super well, even in 2025, where you can come back and be like, where did we go wrong? This is incredible. You know, everybody should be talking about this.
Dude, freaking Gray. Listen to Gray, man. Dude, that song is gnarly. It is heavy. It's aggressive. Like this, it was just like you said, it's a very mature sound. Like this is what you would think of for like a post-hardcore band who wants to lean into the heavy. Like they talked about, like they played with Shai Hulud and stuff like that. When they were like announcing their breakup, Shai Hulud was supposed to play those shows with them. Like you want to talk about influence and stuff like that. This is the metallic hardcore stuff coming out.
Yeah.
Dude, just
nasty. I mean, I can't believe, like I was hitting myself. I could not believe that I didn't know about this album. It's great. Crazy. It's
a minute 35. Listen to that breakdown. It is like the best breakdown that they've written, and it just fits so good. It's quick. It's like 10 seconds long. That's it. But it just like, it fits in the song perfect. It just encapsulates it. And one of the things that I sent to you, the artwork on this, dude, the album art is awesome. Like I want a vinyl of this so bad. Like I love that skeleton, the wild colors. Like it takes a minute to like look at it and actually process what's going on there. Just like the abstractness of it. Like it is so cool. It looks so good. Cool. Like it all around. This is a great album.
Yeah. So make sure you guys go listen to it. We'll talk real quick on their last album that can only be found on YouTube. I guess. I don't know.
Which I don't know why
on there. Like, chapters and verses, right?
Yeah.
It's good. Donnie is like a ridiculous song. You know, I think that's my favorite song off it. But the rest of it, I know that you really liked it. You were saying that like, you felt like it was one of their better ones. I thought it was okay. Like it's definitely better than like Tales and Memories. But I'd listen. I think Conduit's better. I think the Armageddon album's better. You know, so
yeah. I mean, the more that I listen to it, I agree with you. I think that like it caught me off guard with what it was because you couldn't find it anywhere. So the fact that like it was only on YouTube and stuff like that, and I listened to it, I was like, dude, like it's like a hidden record. Like this is like a gold mine. It's like a gem. So it was just a little bit of a shock value. You know what I mean? But the one thing I will say about it is I do feel like it is the album that encapsulated all of their sounds.
Yeah, that's a good point.
It has post-hardcore, it has the metalcore, it has the hardcore, it has pop punk almost style riffs. Like you listen to it at times and you're like, okay, I could see where like Neck Deep pulled from some of this stuff and where like they were pulling from some of Neck Deep stuff and things along those lines. I just feel like it's just, and maybe that's why it's not as good, because it's a little bit all over the place versus like Conduit, which is very, very kind of seamless in terms of sound and aggression and stuff like that. Same with Welcome to Armageddon. But it's good. Like, go listen to it. His vocals, like I said, are a little bit more worn out. It wasn't the best. I'm reading here it was recorded in 2 weeks. Like, they've definitely put more time and effort into some of their other ones. But yeah, I like it. It's it takes effort to listen to it. I kind of like that. It takes effort to listen to. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but yeah, no, I mean, like, for me, I'm going casually, hours, Armageddon, conduit, chapter verses, memories, tells. That's the order for me. And I
Okay.
know that you're slightly different than that.
Slightly, but not much. Like hours, casually dressed, uh,
Then you're going
conduit,
conduit,
and
and
then
then
welcome home,
Armageddon,
Armageddon,
and
and
then the
then
same
chapter and verse, and then memory and
memories.
tales.
Yeah. So really, we just have two that are different. Like our one and twos are swapped, and our threes and fours are
Conduit.
swapped.
Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And like to
But
be honest, if I listen to Conduit more, I may throw it up
yeah,
above. Like to be honest with you, like do you want to say like 3/4? Because like that's what it is for me. You know what I mean? Like it's really is right there.
yeah. No,
So
I mean, they're both solid. I just, I can't believe I didn't listen to the rest of these albums. And good for these guys for like I said before, the ability that they had to be as consistent
yeah,
as they were. You know, um, we don't talk a lot about nostalgia bands that I feel like have been able to do that. Um,
yeah,
I mean, it's just everybody can find an album in their discography that they'll like. Everyone that likes alternative music can find an
yeah.
album that suits
Even
what
if
they
you like
want,
you too.
and it's good. And the only other band I know, right? The only other band that I feel like has ever been able to do that, in my opinion, has been Thrice. And so that ability to like make sounds but still sound like you is very difficult, you know.
Yeah,
And I
there's a
I
few
don't
bands we've talked about. Thrice. Thursday's another one of those bands.
I don't know they change their sound as much though, right? Like listening to Casually Dressed and then listening to Tales Don't Tell themselves.
Yeah.
They're different bands. It feels like, you know.
Yes, but if you go casually hours then tells, like hours definitely has some more rock style onto it. They
Yeah,
went like heavy on the rock on tells, but then to come out of it with memories, like you can see it was like a very pendulumy, like you
yeah,
said, but versus there it's this isn't hundredth. This isn't a
right.
melodic hardcore band that's now a
Yeah,
electronic shoegaze band. It's not. You know what I mean? So yeah, I get what you're saying. But yeah, dude, go freaking listen to it. Like all of this stuff is so good. If you are nostalgic for post hardcore at all, this scratches the post hardcore itch.
yeah.
It's
I'm
just good.
I'm really curious about the reception that we're gonna get with this episode.
Yeah, I'm
So
curious. Either there's going to be a lot of people who listen to it, or there's going to be no one who listens to it.
because
So
there's a few bands that we've talked about, like a Static Lullaby we've talked about a few times. Man, I might be really the only person around that like was obsessed with them
dude,
as I was.
you say that, but
That's
then
true. They're
like
dropping that vinyl.
they're
Yeah.
dropping the vinyl and there's a lot of comments on there.
Yeah.
Like, yeah,
But I just
it's niche.
this is a band that I think we're either going to be super surprised at how many people like it, or we're going to be like, or nobody's going to like, you know what I mean? Like there's going to be, there's either going to be a ton of people be like, yeah, you guys are stupid. Everybody love Funeral for a Friend. Or it's going to be like, nah, dude, nobody listen to Funeral for a Friend. I don't even know what
See,
you're
I don't
talking
think
about.
it's like that. I think that it's going to
Really?
be like everyone listened to them, but no one else thought that each other listened to them. So all of a sudden, there's going to be like the web of people being
Weird
like,
web.
they're going to be like, dude, you listen to Funeral? Yeah, dude,
Yeah.
like hours? Like, and also there's going to be this renaissance of Funeral for a Friend because of this. Like,
Yeah. Right. They're like 5 people that listen to us.
dude,
So,
renaissance. It's 5 more than they had.
yeah.
Anyways,
But no,
it sounds like they're writing new music. Their vocalist did leave. So I'm not like their live shows are played with a guy who's in another band. His name's Lucas from I think it's a popular band. I didn't know who they were, but anyways, I'm not sure if they're going to write with him or if they're going to recruit a like full-time vocalist, but any live shows they do are currently with this Lucas guy. So I'll be interested to see because they said that in 2023 and we're now 25. So either new music's coming out soon or it's going to be
Fake
one
out.
of those things where they said it and it never happens. So
Yeah. Well, cool band. I have very fond memories of listening to them, and I had very fond memories listening to them again. So I'm glad we talked about them. Let us know what you guys think. We're super curious about this one. So
yep.
yeah,
Dope.
that's all I got.
All right.
So
I'm
cool.
not sure. Next week you're probably gonna have to recruit someone. So
Yeah, I'll figure something out.
to see what happens.
Do that, or I'll just get up and monologue for like 20 minutes and then call it.
All right. That works. All right. Catch you
We'll
next week.
see. All right, see you, dude.
Peace.